going live, just so you know.
Did you hear back from what's her name?
From Kim?
Kim?
No.
I think
we just have another.
Even if it's not her, I think something like that.
Well, and Kim is great because she said, "I know you're looking to find someone."
Okay, Facebook is live, and now we'll go to YouTube next. I'm sorry, YouTube is live. YouTube is live.
Oh, should I send him some pictures of my boobs? No.
Hey, you might be on.
Okay,
so
sorry.
Yeah, we are for sure.
Shut your yaps. God.
I didn't mean that.
I'll get it, Javier.
We've only been doing this 10 years.
I know.
All right, YouTube. Or I'm sorry, Facebook. Jeez.
Okay, see, we weren't live.
I don't think we were, but I don't care. People know what you're like. Ain't no one surprised.
I had the Trump rally as a spank if we want to.
Oh, it's so funny, though. The video is unbelievable. Gabe likes when he does the floss. This thing.
The floss.
Gabe likes the floss. Oh, this is what he does. He does like that. Yeah.
I'm going to send you, and so instead of that one, I'll send you a different one.
And I do have the dancing, the video. And then Javier, I'm passing this.
Next week, I'm traveling. Do you guys want me to find a sub? Or you guys want to do mano y mano?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was fun without you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's gotta hurt. What the fudge? What the hell?
Start the commercial right away.
Oh, come on, Daniel.
God, there it is, the Mensa stuff. Ooh.
Oh, come on.
Javier, can you reach under and...
What am I doing?
I got it. Thank you. I got it. Now we're ready.
All right, I'm posting it to Twitter.
We're live streamed tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, starting the commercial.
Support for Wrong About Everything comes from Minnesota's credit unions. Credit unions are locally based, member-owned financial cooperatives that return earnings to members through higher savings rates, lower loan rates, and reduced fees. Visit mncun.org for more information.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Wrong About Everything podcast. This is a GOP strategist and Twin City Sugar, Brian McDaniel.
Former Republican Senate Majority Leader Amy Koch.
Democratic strategist and the Puerto Rican heat, Javier Murillo.
Yeah.
And we are
Wrong About Everything.
Why are you improvising?
Yeah.
It's just adding sound effects. It's like you heard my sobriquet just for the first time. You're like, ooh, rawr.
Yeah.
I've only been doing it for
Maybe it was how you
9.5 years.
Maybe it's how you delivered it.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, everybody,
That's great.
welcome to an all singing, all dancing episode of the Wrong About Everything podcast. Here we are in the Minnesota Credit Union Network studios, deep within the recesses of MBC Studios here in Northeast Minneapolis. We have our very capable and handsome producer, Gabe Noah, pushing the buttons in the other room. And
I do not approve that message.
well-
I mean, he's capable.
He's capable. He's handsome.
He's fine.
You think I'm fucking handsome.
He's really cleaned up
not.
lately.
In
You've really
you know
cleaned
what?
up.
You know what? In the comedy world,
The lounge
he's
area.
like top 5%.
Okay. That's
Hey.
a good bar.
Well, I'll wait for plugs, but I'm excited about where you guys are going to be this weekend.
Where are we going to be?
I have a
Am I going
question.
to be somewhere this weekend?
And what you should come with me.
Gabe and I do. But I have a question for you,
Yeah,
Javier.
stand up.
Yes, sir.
Why do you hate him so much?
Who?
Gabe.
I don't hate Gabe at all.
You never miss an opportunity to just tear him down, and all he wants is for you to love and respect him.
All he wants is a little gay action on the side, and I refuse to give it to him.
Right. All
Can't even
righty
argue.
then. All right, everybody. In addition to whatever that
I am
was,
no one's experiment.
please go to our website.
That's not true. I would totally be an experiment.
www.wrongabouteverything-podcast.com. And how about going to our YouTube channel? We post so much stuff there now. We need more subscribers. That's where you're going to find all of the clips and full shows. So we'd love for you to check that out, as that's the way of the world these days. So
I know.
please go there. What?
You sound like a grandpa. Well, YouTube, it's the way of the world these days.
Go
been
to
around
YouTube
for a
now.
good
Kids are on
amount
the
of time now.
TikToks and they're YouTubing.
The texties and the tweetums. Yeah. Remember when Mike Franklin used to do the old-timey guy?
Old-timey
Hey,
guy.
everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you go to our YouTube channel? You know what? You can get the clips. The clips, they're like long shows, but shorter. You love them.
You love them.
Know what else you'll love? Our good friends at Bradshaw and Bryan.
Yeah, you do.
Their entire team of attorneys and staff is dedicated to providing the legal advice you need, combined with the service and
Okay,
personal
stop that. You
attention
need
you
to stop that
deserve.
voice. You don't do
Old-timey
it well.
guy.
No, he's not doing it well.
Well,
Call Mike Franklin or just... And also, so I'm sure that whoever listened to the show back then, we've recycled like through listeners. There's very few people. If you get this reference, please
Right.
comment on our YouTube page.
People might know Mike Franklin from Jugs days when he was the mayor of
No
Jordan.
one knows that either.
You're interrupting the copy.
Okay. Sorry, Mike.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
If
Bradshaw,
you have
Bryan.
questions about how they can assist you with a personal injury, wrongful death, or criminal defense matter, I might need them because I'm going to murder both of you.
Yeah.
Do not hesitate to contact them. Consultations are free. Please contact them at 800-770-7008 or at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Shut up.
Oh, wow. I didn't even say anything.
Well, you don't need to.
Yeah, well.
All right. Well, this
I
is the
like when you
this is
guys
the worst
bicker.
show we've
Yeah,
ever
we're
done.
already... You're cranky.
Oh, well.
What are you talking about? Wait, did you do the credit union thing?
I did the.
Yeah, I had a friend of the program. I was with Tranche Master General Ryan Smith
yeah.
yesterday, and speaking to a friend of the podcast, and then he said, "Wait a minute, credit unions? I thought your voice sounded familiar." He recognized the voice of the Tranche Master, Ryan Smith.
We haven't had him on in a while. We should do
No,
that.
we should have him on. So,
Yep. What are we talking about this week? Well, I mean, we are edging closer and closer and closer to
I am not edging.
to election night. I think what is interesting. I mean, I think anyone who tells you they know what is going to happen. Obviously, you should immediately discount anything they say. It's going to be super close on the federal level. It's going to be super close in Minnesota. It's going to be narrow margins one way or the other. But what I think is interesting, and I'd love your opinions on it, is and we've been seeing this. I think it was most notable in 2016 when it started with both Bernie and with Donald Trump. But we are seeing kind of the traditional coalitions that the two parties have enjoyed. Really, they're really migrating back and forth. Where, like on the Minnesota Iron Range, you're seeing a lot of blue collar and union guys going red. You're seeing the higher educated, higher income people are starting to go blue. You're starting to see older voters who were always a real staple of the Republican Party. I think I saw a poll of garbage. But I think I saw a poll that had Harris up 50-46 with senior voters. Republicans are making real headway with Black and Latino men, and really taking kind of a bite out of huge margins that the Democrats had there. But they're from going from 70% or 78% down to the low 70s. With these tight margins, you only need to kind of shave off a little bit here and there to make a big difference. And I mean, what other groups are you kind of hearing or seeing that are kind of going back and forth?
well, and you had put this on the thing that the Dems are losing the edge on early voting,
Yep.
which that is the Republicans finally catching up. Right. So 2020 came and it was such a disaster for the Trump campaign and Republicans because they so talked down early voting, absentee ballots, and they really like squashed that early voting, which was a problem because come November of 2020, that's how people were wanting to vote, and it continues, right? I talked to a ton of Republicans that have already voted. They like the option to do some early voting. They like to do absentee ballot, and I think that what you're seeing with the Dems losing that is not that the Dems aren't hitting it as hard as they ever were, is that Republicans have finally come to that conclusion, and now you see the Minnesota Republican Party, you see Donald Trump himself talking about get out there, early vote, so take to the polls. So that's another area where it's a little hard to judge, because this is the first time that Republicans haven't completely poo-pooed early voting.
It's the first time since Trump. This used to be it used to be the case, where absentee voting was more heavily Republican, and then Trump reversed that in 2020.
But we've also seen a lot more opportunities and expansion of the early vote.
Right,
and people like it.
Yeah, of course, people like. I mean, Georgia yesterday broke records. They doubled the amount of early votes that they had from 4 years ago. They had something like 300,000 people voted early yesterday in Georgia. I think in Georgia it also has to do with the fact that
storms.
The storms, and also that voting. I know from our side that voting was made more difficult, and so there's a big push with our voters to don't wait till the last minute. Go make sure so that, because if you're not allowed to vote today, you can fix your thing, but on election day you may just lose your vote altogether.
And it just makes sense. I mean, I'm somebody who has early vote. I early voted in the primary. I haven't voted yet, but I probably will vote early. I'm somebody who really likes to vote on election day, but we all know life gets in the way, and the longer you wait, the more opportunity there is for something to get in the way.
Former President Jimmy Carter voted today early. He's 100. He turned 100 on October 1st. Yeah. And so probably a good idea for Jimmy Carter, because life gets in the way.
Yeah. I'm really glad that he got to vote.
Yeah.
Both for Jimmy and also just for
Jimmy Carter is inarguably one of our greatest ex-presidents, but he is not long for this world, and that's not being.
I know, but we've been saying that for 15 years.
I know, but he turned 100.
He had brain cancer 8 years ago.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Tough old SOB.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Building houses and seeing UFOs.
That's a guy that presidency completely did not. His ex-presidency was so much better than the presidency.
Well, there's some stuff going on. Yeah. The hostages and whatnot. Anyway, gas. The gas lines. We're all old enough to remember that. I mean, I don't think the kids.
You don't
today,
remember gas lines.
I do too. How would I not remember the gas lines?
I remember gas lines.
Well, when were the gas lines?
In fact, this is
the late 70s.
Yeah.
You were.
We didn't. I don't know. Maybe we had our own gas. I don't know. I don't remember gas.
You don't remember the energy crisis being a whole thing in the news?
Yeah, I remember OPEC being in the news.
Yeah,
I can remember OPEC.
That's
but I didn't.
The gas
that's it. Well,
I lived in Greater Minnesota,
in Chicago, because I was living there at the time. I absolutely remember being in long lines with my parents and my grandma and my uncles and stuff, hoping to get gas. I definitely remember when the Iranian hostages came home. This is something my family still talks about, because when they came home, and this was obviously during the beginning of Reagan, but they had been captured through most of Carter towards the end. But I can remember them talking to a little kid on the news, and he said he was glad that the sausages are coming home. And that's something that my family still talks about.
Very Chicago.
The sausages?
The sausages.
Yeah, Chicago. They love their sausages. The sausage king of Chicago.
Abe Froman.
Abe Froman,
the sausage king of Chicago.
But
yeah, no, it's interesting, because this will be my going into this next legislative session, which is in 2025. This will be my 25th session. I started at the Capitol in 2000. It'll be my 25th session, and kind of staying in the area of these shifting coalitions. When I first started, the thought of a pink or a red Iron Range, it was unfathomable. And I can remember when Eagan and Apple Valley were the reddest part, and the western suburbs, during the Jim Ramstad days, when they were the reddest of the red parts. And now, they're blue, and absent something super screwy happening, they're going to stay blue for quite some time. And even Lakeville, where I live, which is even further out, is pink. You know, so the shifting majorities and I mean the shifting coalitions within the majorities are just really interesting to me, and it just goes to show that other than probably Minneapolis and St. Paul, nothing is forever, and people shouldn't give up on areas or just always assume that these areas are going to be with them forever, because you know I would say the 60s became the 80s somehow, and there's some trigger that makes things change dramatically. We just don't always see it until it happens, or even after it happens.
I mean, I think the big realignment that we're seeing right now, and we'll see how permanent it is, has to do with the fall of Roe v. Wade, and there was looking at numbers this week that if you look at like Kamala Harris is outperforming all recent Democrats among white women, and the obvious thing that having changed is the fall of Roe v. Wade, and so how that plays out. I mean, it was interesting. Just last night was like the Texas Senate debate, and to see Ted Cruz run away from the issue of abortion was. It was bizarre. It is a new, and like Ted Cruz run away from the issue of abortion in Texas. Is like just I think tells you how much that issue has like really shifted the ground. That's the thing where like I think this is going to be a tough election. I think where I find hope on Guy's side, where I could say is that the areas of growth that Kamala has had among white women versus the areas of growth in our base that Donald Trump has had. Donald Trump's the Latino and Black men that polls pick up. I should point out, not polls that are specific to those groups. These are like a lot of the pontificating that's been going on about this is based on national polls and crosstabs, which is just an impossible way. Like there's so few Black men and so few Latino men. But like polling outfits like X that look specifically at Latinos, like speak with much more precision about like where the faults are, where there is slippage, but also just that those gains are in people who are very infrequent, if voters, very infrequent. So there's a heavier lift to get them out to actually vote.
But Trump has drawn out voters in the past that did not traditionally vote. I mean, we saw that like even in 2016 when he almost won Minnesota, he didn't really do much better than Romney, but he really shifted where it was coming from and got out people that don't normally vote. Same thing with thinking about it like a Jesse Ventura. There are just some candidates that bring out less frequent voters, and he is one of them.
Oh, wow. Breaking news. Liam Payne from One Direction died.
Oh, how old was he?
31. Anyway.
I don't know who that is.
He was the best one. He was the best one in One Direction.
In news for Lady Sarah and her friends.
Liam
Payne.
No, that's they'd
be too young.
No, it's
no. She was into One Direction at the time, but she was pretty young.
Yeah.
But
in news for Rachel Cope.
Just seems like not breaking news for a political podcast.
Well, it's breaking news that.
I guess he's a fan.
Happened. Yeah.
Don't take his.
Hey. Yeah. I can clearly rank all 5 of them.
Okay.
Louis is the worst one. Harry,
this is really
we're all sick of Harry.
Who's Harry?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. Yeah, see, Harry Styles is a thing, but One Direction.
But Liam was, he was the best one. Well, anyway, R.I.P. to a legend.
Oh no,
Liam.
Both you and Jenny. Jenny's asking, does Colin Allred have a chance in Texas?
No.
I think so. His polling suggests he does, and there's Texas is the state that keeps it's like Charlie Brown and the
it teases you down. Remember Beto?
It teases us. That said, Ted Cruz is extremely unpopular in Texas. He is not a popular senator.
He is extremely unpopular in the U.S. Senate.
In the U.S. Senate,
he's extremely unpopular.
Well, and I
was in the Senate dining room.
Most unpopular
I was in the Senate dining room one time. And there was all these senators sitting around enjoying each other's lunch, and it was just Ted Cruz and his wife over here. All by his lonesome.
But also, there are traditionally blue states that are getting prohibitively, tax heavy, and there are a lot of people from California California that are moving into like the greater Austin area, and so the demographics of Texas are still red, but they're
different,
bluer because there's a lot of
kind of like Colorado. Colorado got that early wave too.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Californians.
Texas demographics are like the largest concentration of black voters in the country are in Harris County, Texas. Larger more black voters in Harris County.
Is that Houston, or what is Harris County?
Houston. Yep.
Houston, yeah.
No, yeah. There's a potential there. Like if we had Beto O'Rourke has been trying to do like what Stacey Abramson did in Georgia to really expand the electorate, but he's like a Beto version of like Stacey, so it's like not.
I don't know if those are either flexes, but
like Georgia is competitive because of Stacey. You may not like her, but she's competitive because
maybe that's why I don't like her.
The state is competitive because she did an amazing amount of organizing for many years before she was a candidate for anything. Yep. Or she was in the Georgia House before she was on the federal map for anyone. But yeah, so Jenny, I sent him some money, so you should send some of Brian's money, because the question is from Jenny Beerline, wife of Donald. Sorry,
of Donald McDaniel.
Why don't you
Donald McDaniel.
Shut your whore mouth.
Of Trumpian McDaniel.
No, he's not Trumpy, but he's just chicken shit. Anyway,
I'm brave.
Please write a big check of Brian McDaniel's money to Colin Allred. And you could say it's because that is the one race that who's throwing down hard for him is Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is actually it's the only Senate seat that she is endorsed in, and she's actually campaigning. And and the Cheneys have a because they're not really from Wyoming, they've been in Texas for all this time. So,
Well, today's MEA, which for non-Minnesotans, it's
for people without kids.
Yeah, well,
so the longest time people were like, it's MEA. I'm like, what? Yeah.
So school's out. So Jenny's probably already drinking. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Then definitely right now take the credit card, go to colinallred.com and send him a big max out on Brian McDaniel's trifecta money.
I'll find out.
I know you'll find out.
I'll figure it out.
You can't get a refund though.
Yeah,
it's very hard to get a refund from.
Is it?
It is.
Even if your wife, who's home on NBA weekend drinking wine,
especially if that's your reason, sorry, sir, you should control your credit card.
Well, just like Dancin Donald, I think that Jenny should channel all of her energy in a different way. What the hell happened in Pennsylvania this week?
What the hell happened is just what's been happening for what that has been happening consistently, and now finally. There's like a break in news, people saying how we've been talking for most of this this cycle about cognitive issues when it came to the former Democratic candidate, but now Donald Trump is losing his marbles, and
he's aging. He's
aging, and that's
you
not
can
just
see the age on him. Yes,
yeah. In that situation,
so we should explain in case anybody missed it.
If you haven't missed it, just Google Donald Trump, because it wasn't a rally, it was a town hall.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, but he very much set up town hall, so it was not a media town hall. This was
because he's been avoiding the media. The thing that
the
they've been
host
hounding.
was Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota.
Noted dog lover,
which isn't really a moderator.
Noted dog lover, and
the questions were from fans in the audience, and they were very much written ahead of time or planned ahead of time. People came up. There was about 3 or 4 questions that they got through when someone in the back
there were several
collapsed.
people who fainted.
2 or 3. And by the way, this happens, these rallies, people that ever go to these rallies or these town halls, you have to stand around for 5 hours. In fact, longer, right? You stand in line to get in for hours. Then they let you in the venue, but they let you in the venue at noon with something that starts at 4 or 5 o'clock because they want everyone, and this happens with all of them. They want people in early. They want people settled. They want to make sure the crowd is, that they can have a large crowd and get started started. And then there are speakers ahead of your featured speaker. So Donald Trump doesn't come out. It's like an hour and a half to 2 hours of other people talking. So, and this whole time you're on your feet in like hard concrete places. And so a couple of people fainted, and they stopped for that. And they were playing like a musical rendition of Ave Maria, which, okay, and then they had to start it up again because I think somebody fainted again. And at that point, the governor of South Dakota, Governor Noem, says, well, should we have them cut our mics? Like, there was clearly a disrupt. But Trump asked them to turn the music up and to play the Pavarotti version of Ave Maria. And that's where things just went off the rails. So he was requesting songs, and then he would keep saying, like, well, let's have a couple more questions. And then he would just skip on. He goes, never mind, we're going to play another song. And then it actually went on for 38 minutes of him just on the stage dancing,
swaying,
with an occasional intermittent like conversation between him and Governor Noem.
Well, and that dance movie does, which is like the shake
shake weight.
Shake weight thing.
Yeah.
Where it looks like he's it looks
There
like
he goes.
he's in a gay
There
porno.
he goes. There he goes. There he
That's as
goes.
good as we're gonna get.
With multiple co-stars.
Well, it does look shake weighty. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, just a really strange, and you could see that the governor was uncomfortable and unsure what to do.
Well, she kept trying to kind of steer it in another direction, and he did. You know, here, and we've talked about this a lot. Trump's just going to do what he's going to do, and he is unpersuadable by friend or foe.
Yes.
Whether you're Vance, whether you're Noem, whether you're Bannon, whether
his
you're
campaign
any of his
managers,
people,
nobody has any control.
no one has any control over him.
His kids.
What's kind of interesting, at least to me, is Javier, I know how much you like sports, but this is a Trump thing. I just finished a book last night that was on the.
You introduced us by saying, I know you don't like sports, but this is a Trump thing,
just
which I like better.
Well, no, but you're going to like where it's going. But it was a history of the United States Football League, which was a rival league to the NFL. And this is something that happened when I was, like 10 or 11. But Donald Trump was one of the team owners. And what had happened was they were a successful league because they weren't competing with the NFL. They were in the spring, the NFL's in the fall. But Donald Trump ended up buying a team, wanted to move the league to compete with the NFL because he was sure that then the NFL would be so afraid of him that then they would offer him an NFL team to stop competing with them. So he took this whole league with all the players, all the owners, all the popcorn vendors, everything, moved them to the fall where the league collapsed before it even started in the fall. He didn't get his league, but he took over the USFL the way he has taken over the Republican Party, where people at first they dismissed him, and then they belittled him, and then they followed him to their doom for this league. And it was really interesting because the book was not a political book at all, but it absolutely
it was just the true
mirrored
story of what happened.
Yeah, this was going on in 84, 85, 86, 87, and it absolutely mirrors what's going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
That little detour we took on.
Knowing's half the battle.
On sports.
Sure.
Sports ball.
Yeah. And now, if you had talked about the time he was running the Miss Universe pageant, similar story too.
Well, you know more about that than I do.
Exactly.
Oh, did he? Same thing. He sort of took it over and made it his own,
Yes, and then they got rid of him because he was like sexually harassing all the candidates. Actually, that's not why they got rid of him, but they did get rid of him. I mean, I do think that like. And I honestly think I was listening on the way here the Bulwark podcast, which I told you guys about a bunch. And I like to listen to because I don't agree with them and everything.
Republicans
but they are
former
Republicans. They are never Republicans who like. And this woman Sarah Longwell has this amazing podcast on her own called the Focus Group, where she does focus groups all the time with and specifically with with voters who were twice Trump voters, but that January 6th really soured them, and who can make the difference. And they like what I like listening to them for is like that their messaging advice to Democrats is often a lot more hard edged than Democrats are ever willing to go. And Sarah Longwell was they were all making the case that the closing argument should be like, this guy's nuts. That this guy is nuts, and honest, like because the behavior has gotten so much more erratic, and like
if you watch him speak at rallies now, it used to be that he would say inflammatory things and people covered the rallies. When you do watch the rallies now, it's not inflammatory so much as because it's so much like rambling.
It's not
that
sharp.
It's not sharp. It's impossible to track where he's going. He'll start with something about San Francisco, and he'll end up with like selling Trump steaks. It just there's no it's hard to even follow, or there's the thoughts.
I mean, he makes news when he says things that like he's going to send the U.S. Army after internal enemies, including Adam Schiff. Yeah. Like that was one of the big hits of this last week. Like the man is dangerous. I think it's true. Like, yes, the Republican Party like went along with him, but the degree to which is this like he very well may win, and there will be no stopping him from doing things like setting the military against internal enemies, because we've seen the Republican Party will not stand up to him on anything ever.
Well, I mean, I think it's this is obviously the Trump revenge tour. I mean, the real goal is to win. The goal is to win. What happens after that?
Gets rid of all the court cases, presumably. In fact, those have kind of disappeared now, waiting for the election, and there you go.
Well, just like when he was impeached, it ended up not being even an election issue. These the other things that took up so much of our time and space, however many months ago, are not talked about.
Are not talked about at all. It's just there is something about him and his candidacy that has sort of rewritten the rules on all of this. Yeah. And
it's the cult of personality.
It is the cult of personality.
He has a gift that many don't possess, and we'll look back and people will say, "Oh, that I didn't fall for it, but y'all did."
What I would say for my Republican friends out there, if this had been Joe Biden dancing for 39 minutes on the stage, you would be calling it out.
We made fun of Clinton and Gore when they danced. We made fun of Hillary when she was pointing at the balloons like she had never seen a balloon before. So this is absolutely something that we would. I mean, it was weird. I mean, maybe you find it charming, but it doesn't give me any comfort, nor should it.
You would be calling on Joe Biden to come get Joe Biden.
Yeah,
that's what you would be doing.
But anyway, okay, let's just keep an eye on all this. Just on state stuff, there's a couple of things that we need you to keep an eye on. The Office of Cannabis Management is trying to set itself up, and it is going backwards, and it is not getting the attention that it needs. And what has happened was they moved a significant portion of it from the Department of Health to its own thing.
They moved the part that dealt because medical cannabis has already been legal in Minnesota for a while,
and it hasn't worked out. They've lost a lot of employees, and what it has led to is people not being able. This is not recreational weed we're talking about. These are people who have identifiable medical problems who are not able to get their medicine because of this, and this is something that we need to. This is something where we, the people of Minnesota, need to hold our government accountable and make sure that it is actually delivering the services that are core functions of government. This is something we care about. And then in Hennepin County, they've had to stop doing DNA. Where is it here? I actually don't have the.
Yeah, they've had to stop doing DNA forensics because of
a contamination at the crime lab, as if it wasn't already too easy to get away with crime in Hennepin County. So these are things that are not political. They are the proper functioning of core functions of government, and these are things that should not be ignored, and are things that hopefully the press keeps their eye on, and you should too. With that, who's got plugs, man?
Okay.
Plugs. Yes, I will be hosting the Moth Story Slam on October 30th. Strange Encounters is the theme. We're at the Parkway Theater. I think tickets will go on sale next week. They go on sale a week in advance. It's at the Parkway, and they always sell out. So it's a really great show. So encourage you all to go to be there. And I am also hosting on November 20th. Also at the Parkway. So
That's your new venue, not the Amsterdam.
I have not hosted at the Amsterdam for a while. I mean, we still do the Amsterdam, but
Yeah.
since we have 3 hosts and we rotate, the rotation this year has me going. I'm like, the Amsterdam is a mile from my house, but
Yeah.
but
Parkway.
but Minneapolis loves me.
Well,
You know,
you can't argue with that.
yeah.
You can't. argue.
Any Patreon?
Do we have any new Patreon? We do not.
Here, I can do plugs while you're looking in case we do.
What are you plugging?
Well, let's see. Brian and I, every Tuesday on the BS podcast. You can catch me every Sunday morning, 6:20, on London Times Radio. We're just doing a regular feature now. I'm a regular every week now. It's 12:20 our time, which is kind of rough, but there you go. Also, weekly on Channel 4. Just did an interview with Channel 4 this afternoon. So you can catch us on Odyssey or clips throughout the week. And yeah, that's good for now.
All right. Well, and I have a huge weekend coming up. So on Friday the 18th, both myself, our good friend Trish Cook, and headliner Gabe Noah are going to be doing comedy at the Rusty Bumblebee in Blaine. It'll start at 8 p.m.
That's on Friday.
On Friday night, the 18th.
Friday?
What are you doing?
Friday the 18th?
Yeah.
Who's on there? Hold on.
On air production.
Oh,
meeting.
I can do that.
Giddy up.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
8
so,
o'clock.
So it's going to be
Yeah,
great.
John
Do
Styles
we
out of
need to
town.
buy tickets?
No, it is
You
not.
mean
a
you're gonna
ticketed event,
compass?
But it does mean that it might
You're
fill
going to
up.
compass?
Huh?
You're going to compass?
Yes,
Oh, it's free?
Well, no, you're consider yourself comped.
Okay.
As far
all
as
right.
you know, it's comped. But no, so Gabe will be
Excellent.
will
I
be
got it in there.
headlining. I'll be hosting. Our good friend Trish Cook, who's a friend of your friend Governor Peggy Flanagan, will be there in the middle.
Javier and I will be heckling.
Come watch Amy
watch.
and me. Yeah, I got a plug. Amy and I will be heckling the
We'll
comedy.
be live at the Rusty Bumblebee on Friday. New plug.
You guys are Trumpy. Anyway, so we'll
Tell
be
us
doing
the
that
joke.
Friday.
It's not funny.
And then on Saturday, the 19th, our recent guest host, Shaletta Brundage, and I will be receiving our Emmy
wow.
Award.
This is it.
At
That's
the,
this weekend?
That's the 19th, Saturday, at the.
Did Jenny get a designer outfit?
I don't know if we got our address that she's very happy with.
Okay.
Oh, I'm excited to see
Yeah.
the pictures.
Does it have a train?
It is long. I don't know that it has a train in like a Cinderella or Lady Diana kind of way, but yeah,
Is she disappointed?
that it's not as long.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to find a dress these days.
I'm excited to see the pictures.
You should have
You also
spent-
got
you
a new
should have
suit.
spent You should have spent more.
Oh, well, it's.
She's happy.
She gave all her money to Colin Allred, so we could.
I hope so. Jenny, let's go.
It's lucky she's not in a burlap sack.
You're going to be
after
so
all that.
beautiful, Queen. I can't wait to see.
But anyway, 2024 Upper Midwest Emmy
Oh,
Awards.
it does have a train. You didn't even pay attention. I just got a text from your wife. It does have a train.
I've seen it. It's not like it's not
You
a
just
Lady
don't know
Diana
the
train.
terms. Shut up.
Well, then why are you asking me?
I thought
don't
you
know.
would know that.
Well,
Seemed like something you might know.
I don't.
All right.
All right.
Emmy Award winning.
Anyway,
So then you're officially Emmy Award winning
officially
co-host
I'll bring
of
it
Wrong
in
About
and I'll
Everything.
Put it right here.
Please do, actually. I think it'll up our cred.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But sure.
How about Spanks and things?
All right.
You guys
Sure.
suck.
We do. Okay, I can go first. So my thank this week is to Billie Eilish. Billie just did an interview with her brother with the LA Times, and they talked about all kinds of things. She's just an interesting soul to me, and she's an old soul I think she's 22, and so she's fascinating. What's that?
She loves The Office.
That makes sense.
The show?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so they asked her specifically because, of course, Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX are really like nipping at her heels. They're coming up. They're big names. And this is amazing because this is what they ask women, right? They asked her if she felt like threatened by these new stars' success. And this young woman,
Let me
amazing.
just start by saying that's a shitty question.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are, first of all, questions that you ask women, right? Like, hearkening back to the Mariah Carey,
Everyone
Whitney
wants a damn
Houston.
cat
Like,
fight.
that's what they want. That's what they want. It's really gross. But I love her answer because she looked at the interviewer, John, and said, "Are you kidding me? I'm so happy for these bitches. It's a crazy world when you get to that level they're experiencing right now, and they're doing great. Fans are drawn to them because they are effing awesome."
Chappell Roan replied, "Don't call me a bitch."
I think
Did she?
that's amazing. I love that vibe. Women, this is music, but it applies to everything. In politics, I hate it when I see women taking down other women. It's a really tough industry. It's still kind of the old boys club. That's changing, but it's been changing way too damn slowly. And you don't have to share one skimpy piece of pie. You just make the pie bigger and you cheer on everybody. And so I am really here for that. I love it. You are thanked, Billie Eilish. I am spanking former DFL state rep Jason Metza. He was just pleaded guilty to, and this is the official plea is to guilty to furnishing alcohol to a minor. So he copped a plea because he was at a cabin with a young lady. I believe she was 18. And she was plied heavily with alcohol. He is saying that she had approximately 4 shots. That was what was in the report. She is saying she had much, much more than that, and felt very much incapacitated. But that's what the plea deal has done. And so he's fined $900 and sentenced to 1 year of unsupervised probation, which is really nothing. And I understand this is a plea down.
What is unsupervised probation? Isn't probation is by definition supervised?
I don't.
Well, I think it's that he's not going to have someone like.
He doesn't have to check in.
don't think he has to
that
check in
means
at all.
That just seems
Yep.
like not probation.
Yep. If he abides by his terms of probation, which doesn't seem very strict,
we should ask Mike
which means he must remain law-abiding for a year, the charge to which he pled guilty will be dismissed from his record. So he's cut himself a sweetheart
But if it was
deal.
a minor, she couldn't be 18, right?
No, she's
she's under 21.
She's under 21 for
yeah, yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
She's
So-
of
You're right,
consent
you're right,
for
You're right,
sex.
right.
Anyway, this, we've heard a lot about this. There's lots
Which
of
is not. I just wanted to
alleged.
like what I said. Like
Yeah.
that the age of consent for sex in Minnesota is lower than the age of consent
Yes.
for alcohol. But that because it wasn't the original charge. It did include sexual battery.
I
in some way?
believe there was additional charges. This is definitely a plea down from the original charges. It's disappointing. He put that young girl in great danger, and I guess this is what comes out of it, and this is what they can convict on. But Jason Metza, I see you, and you are spanked.
Javier?
I'm going to do a double spank this time. I've been doing double thanks recently, or just plain thanks.
You have been
You
downright
are decidedly
funny.
less cheery today, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Even that.
So, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Donald Trump this last week talked about at a rally that the real problem in the country, even beyond the immigrants that he likes to attack and lie about, are quote radical left lunatics, and he talked about turning the army on the enemy within, like even this was he did an interview with Maria Bartiromo, who was trying to get him to say sane things, but he just wouldn't go there. Okay? And so, but my spank is for Glenn Youngkin, the governor of Virginia, someone who he's one of these people who gets undue credit as a normal Republican because he occasionally says something not insane. But so he was interviewed by Jake Tapper, and Jake Tapper read the quotes Adam Schiff, what Trump said, including that Adam Schiff was one of the people that he described as the enemy within, and Youngkin just kept saying I don't think that's what he meant, and Tapper's I'm literally reading it to you. This is what I said. Everyone can do their own research and look up what Trump said. Trump said what he said. Trump said that he will weaponize law enforcement and the actual military against people who vote against him. That's what and when if you want to know what an America with an unbridled Donald Trump is like, watch that interview with Glenn Youngkin, because it's a lot of people who will not hold him accountable for anything. They haven't to this date, and they won't then. So Glenn Youngkin, you're spanked. My other spank is similar, but is on North Carolina this last week. Rutherford County Sheriff had to confirm that. After FEMA announced that they had to withdraw from doing work because the lives were endangered, lives of FEMA workers, because there's such rampant misinformation pushed from Donald Trump and others, and the weird right wing and wingnut online conspiracy world. People were hunting down FEMA workers who are literally trying to rescue folks, hunting them down with shotguns. And there was an arrest made this week for one man who was making a lot of these threats. But there was militias roving around. There were all these crazy theories that FEMA was going to take away people's lands and all this. It is bananas, and just another example of how dangerous the media landscape that we're currently in today, where believe nothing, but also it's believe nothing but believe everything. Don't believe any mainstream media, but then believe all these right wing kooks who are trying to literally just stop people from getting help, and it's just it's awful. So that's just a sad spank.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, anyway, mine will be pretty quick. So in The Hill, this is my spank. So in The Hill, it was reported that Trump has said that the Wall Street Journal has been, quote, wrong about everything.
He's stealing our bit.
Well,
this is it.
In the words of Will Smith, keep our damn name out your effing mouth.
What the hell?
It's even in quotes.
Wait, we have a copyright lawyer. We copyrighted that.
Yeah.
Wait, we did.
Did we let it lapse? Did you let it lapse?
We did not let it lapse. I think
we did copyright
but
things.
it's not like you're not allowed to use the words.
Well, let's call our lawyer.
All right, you know what? Boop, 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 boop. I will push this as far as you will.
Friend of the program.
I will push this as far as you will pay.
I'm not going to answer. He's turning off the ringer.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
But
But
we are.
Well, to our good friends at Bradshaw and Bryant, we ain't snitches.
Yeah, that's true. We're not snitches.
We're not snitches.
But yeah, that's some BS.
Yep.
Wow, you saved that one for last.
Good one. That was for you.
Hell?
Anyway, and then my thank kind of is going to be, this is someone who I talked about a few weeks ago, Thomas Bowman, who was an independent who's running in the 2nd congressional district, who was duped into running by left-wing groups, so that way he would damage Joe Tarab, friend of the program, and he has now said that he realizes that he was a pawn for Democrats, and he has endorsed Joe Tarab. But if the Republicans in the 2nd congressional district, where I live, worked as hard supporting Joe Tarab as they have as trying to harm him and block him, he would be doing a lot better than he is doing.
And Republicans are trying to block Joe Tara.
Oh, it was a big thing.
Absolutely.
Because
Because
the local Republicans have not
originally
supported him.
it was
why don't they like him?
well, it was Taylor
Is he
Rom.
not crazy?
Yeah, well, it was Taylor. Yeah, they
He's
had
not crazy enough.
Taylor Rom went and is now the state
Director
for the Trump campaign, and Joe was on the ballot and won the primary, obviously, but yeah, they have not endorsed him yet. I don't believe the CD2 Republicans.
Yeah.
But what's the issue?
He's too electable. He was a federal prosecutor who,
Ladies and gentlemen, he said it, not me.
yeah, he's electable. No, he's a federal prosecutor that was part of the Feeding Our Future fraud stuff.
Is he black?
He's a military guy. He's mixed race. And Amy
Marine.
Marine. Amy and I both know him personally. He is a very great guy.
He's great.
But while he has been trying to prove he's conservative enough, Angie Craig has been able to show everyone what a moderate she is.
Well, we've been fighting ourselves,
Yeah.
and the only seat that's up potentially competitive in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Republicans.
Anyway,
but
we can't have nice
go,
things.
Joe.
I have some gossip that I'll share off.
Giddy up.
Off the air.
Well,
Not ready for the air
Sorry,
yet.
crew,
I'm gonna
you don't get the tea.
I'm gonna speed this up because I want to know what this is. I am GOP strategist and Dancin fool Brian McDaniel.
I'm thirsty for that hot tea, Amy Coke.
That was so ridiculous. Gen Z, talk about Riz now.
Keepity Riz, Ohio.
Democratic strategist and the Puerto Rican heat, Javier Morillo.
And we are
Wrong about everything, and we copyrighted it.